Hey, welcome to Screencast, everybody. Mr. S here. We're talking math you should know, and today we're talking surface area. And when I think of surface area, I think of coverings, things that are on top of other things. For example, when at Christmas time, when I get a present, it's usually wrapped in paper. And to figure out how much paper um, that needs to go into a box, we need to figure out the surface area so we have enough paper to cover that box, which is something that Mrs. S always does and Mr. S very rarely does. But anyway, let's talk about surface area. And today we're talking about a specific shape. We're talking about this guy right here. We already had some experience. Whoops, said this guy right here. We had some experience with that. That's a rectangular prism. It's a rectangle and it's as a prism. And we talked about the three measurements we needed to know for volume, and it was length, width, and height. And again, those lines would be length, perfect, width, and height. And those are the measurements we're also going to need to find surface area. What is this colorful looking fellow sitting over here? This is called a net. And with a net, what we do is we take this box right here, probably cut it here, here, and here, and then unfold it. And this is the same shape, this net, as this rectangular prism over here. It's going to help us figure out surface area of this shape. Let's take a look. We do have a formula for those of you that love formulas. To find the surface area of a rectangular prism, you don't have to memorize this. This will be written down for you. You can just take 2 times LH, here's L, here's H, and then add that times 2 times LW, and then add that to 2 times height times width. And then when you add that all up, it equals the surface area. And by the way, whatever unit we're using for surface area, let's just say units, we are going to square it. That'll tell us how many square units we need to cover whatever the shape is. Let's take a look at a real problem. Here's a net. And to find the surface area of a rectangular prism, in this case a net, all we have to do is find the area of each one of those, well, squares and rectangles. And we know how to do that by multiplying height times width. So let's find the area of each pair of faces. Let's do front and back. Very good. That would be 6 times 8. And how did we get 6 and 8? Well, here's our height and width. There's an 8 there, and a line that's running parallel is this 6. So that would be 6 also. There's a 6 right there. Very good. 8 times 6 is 48. If I do it here, it's got to be the same here. How about our top and bottom? Well, the top is the yellow. It would be 8. And I need to figure out what this line is. That's running parallel. Very good. 8 times 7 is 56. We'll write that twice because we have 56 here, 56 there. And all we're left with is this blue area, which are the sides. 7 times 6. How did I get 7 times 6? Height and width, 7 and 6, is 42. Then, with my calculator or an amazing brain, I simply add up all those numbers, and it comes out to 292. That's the surface area of all those shapes, which means that the surface area of this shape is 292 square meters. That's how you do surface area of a rectangular prism with a net. But what if I don't have a net and I'm asked to do it this way? Okay, well, this is how I do it. First of all, we need to figure out each one of the sides. We need to figure out front and back, side, top, and bottom. Those 3 areas, really. Oh, thank you. It's broken into a net for us. And so we've taken this shape right here, this rectangular prism, and made it into, down here, this shape, which is called a net. And all I have to do is break all of the different pieces into square feet. In this case, we got sides, front, and back. Let's do the front and back first. So we have 7 times 8, which is 28, times 2 is 56. Where did I get those numbers? Okay, let's just figure out the back. 7 times 4 is 28. 28 times 2, 56. That covers that one and that one. Next shape. Top and bottom. Okay. I think we're going to do 7 times 5. And where did I get that? Need to multiply those two numbers together right there. 7 and 5. And not only are we going to do the top, we're also going to do the bottom. So let's multiply it times 2. 7 times 5 is 35, times 2 is 70, which just leaves us with our two sides. And we got 4 times 5. Where did I get that, Mr. Shetler? Well, right here. We're going to look at just this one side. So there's 4 feet here, 5 feet there. 4 times 5 is 20, times 2 is 40. What do I do next? Think about that for a second. That's right. I take my front and back, my top and bottom, my left and right, and I add them all together. Our surface area in this case is 166 square feet because I added up all the sides, front, back, top, bottom, left, right. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how you find the surface area of a rectangular prism. That's the maths you should know.